So I don't need why don't we start? Good morning to everybody. My name is Gerardo de la Paulera. I'm the president of the Global Development Network. So let me welcome you to the 11th Annual Global Development Conference on Regional and Global Integration, Quo Vadis. So this conference also marks the beginning of a new phase for the Global Development Network of its journey beyond its 10th year. I would here particularly like to welcome His Excellency, the Minister for European Affairs, Dr. Jura Kamel, of the Government of the Czech Republic.
Good morning.
Thank
you.
And thank him for honoring us with his presence today to talk to us. We know that the theme of this conference is of great significance to the Czech Republic and is widely discussed in the context of your great country. On behalf of the Global Development Network, I would like to thank the government of the Czech Republic, under whose auspices we are here, and the city of Prague for their support. Prague is a beautiful and historical city, which is very significant for GDN in more than one way. It is also the city where almost 10 years ago, we launched our first global research project explaining growth with a global workshop here. So both GDN and Prague have evolved in character since then, and it is only fitting that we mark the culmination of our 10th anniversary year here. I extend also here a warm welcome to our keynote speaker of the 11th Global Conference, and also my mentor, colleague, and very good friend and fellow economist and Professor Dr. Guillermo Calvo, the Professor of Economics at the School of International and Public Affairs at Columbia University in New York. Thank you very much, Guillermo, for being here. So we look forward to hearing his views on the complex issue of globalization and our threat, especially as an aftermath to the financial crisis. We are all familiar with Dr. Calvo's body of work on capital flows and balance of payments crisis in emerging market economies. It will be fascinating to hear his analysis of the current crisis, which is unique in being perhaps the first of its kind in the recent past to emerge from the developed world. Before I invite the Minister to speak, I would like to acknowledge our donors without whose support a conference of this magnitude is unthinkable. I would like to acknowledge all our donors, especially the Arab Fund for Economic and Social Development in Kuwait, the Australian Agency for International Development, the Federal Ministry of Finance, Austria, the International Development Research Center, Canada, the Ministry of Finance, Luxembourg, the World Bank, of course, as I said, the government of the Czech Republic, the city of Prague, and Air France as our official carrier. It is with your support that we continue to serve the young researchers and the generation of policy-oriented development. Now I would like to say a few words about why we are here today. Some of you are researchers from developing countries, Africa, the Middle East, Latin America, Asia, Central and Eastern Europe. Others are researchers from Washington, London, Paris, or elsewhere in the developed world, and some of you are policymakers. There are not many occasions when researchers and policymakers sit down together, but we are sitting here today under the GDN umbrella because we believe that without good policy, we will not get very far. Good policy is based on knowledge, on research. And knowledge has always been the wheels for growth and development. No one knows the local issues as well as the local researchers. So whether you are looking for ways to design research to have more impact on policy outcomes, or whether you are a policymaker looking for research that is relevant, GDN is the place to be. GDN is an international organization of research and policy institutes which promotes the generation, sharing, and application to policy of multidisciplinary knowledge for the purpose of development. It was founded 11 years ago. We have the founding president here, Dr. Lynn Squire, in the audience, which was the alma mater. And it is an organization that can respond with responsibility, competence, and sustained energy to fulfill its mission. At the same time, it is imperative to create fresh perspective from the developing world with policy-relevant research, partnerships, and networks. The Global Development Conference are a prominent platform for serious research and policy proposals. So the annual conference over the past years have attracted almost more than 5,000 participants from over 100 countries, and today we can see that with the big audience, there is no exception to how important are those conferences. So let me just say that something about the theme of the conference. The topic of the conference is in the spotlight today like never before. During the next 3 years, through this conference, we will seek to address the complex issues of regional and global integration in the context of current phenomena like the ongoing economic crisis and the best way forward beneficial for growth and development all around. So we will see things as varied as regional responses to the crisis, reforming global financial governance, one way or many, what are the varieties of capitalism. And we will see that for every failure there is a success story. There is a lot to be hopeful about. At these concerts, we will help policymakers who want to know what works and what does not work, what must change, because change can happen and a betterment of lives in the developing, emerging and poor countries is possible. And this is what we believe at GDN, because GDN is simply development without frontiers. So with this, let me now call upon His Excellency, the Honorable Minister for European Affairs, Dr. Juraj Kamiel, to address us today. Thank you, Mr. Minister. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I can hardly start talking about international cooperation this morning without mentioning the enormous human suffering as the aftermath of the earthquake in Haiti. I would like to express my deep compassion with the people there. Thankfully, the humanitarian aid has now started flowing in. The relief efforts coming from all corners of the globe are a huge expression of solidarity amongst the members of the international community. Nothing else can, in my view, better demonstrate its very essence. However, the humanitarian relief in such an enormous disaster must be well coordinated to achieve the best possible results in the circumstances. The relief is there to help people, no other way around. Let me also use this opportunity to thank the NGOs, other institutions and people who offered their help. Thank you very much. President Paolera, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor and a pleasure for me to open this distinguished forum today. The world is now gradually emerging from the economic crisis that set some tough tests for countries' commitment to liberalism and openness, the main driving force of globalization and international cooperation. It is thus both timely and extremely important to discuss their prospects on such a broad international platforms as the Global Development Network represents. The economic crisis swept through the globe, leaving behind some serious open wounds, which has prompted some to question the future good fortunes of globalization. This, I believe, should be of concern here today.